What is up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, February 21st, 2019. It is true in the title of this video, it says Bitcoin to $1 million. That's not clickbait. I'm going to read over an article where it's talking about Bitcoin to $1 million. I want to talk about it. Also, going to read off of a maybe a little more bearish article. And that's really what I want to talk about in this video. How do you approach these markets? How do you survive in these environments where everybody's all over the place? Depending on what leader you talk to, depending on what YouTuber you talk to, everybody is all over the place. How do you deal with that? Do you become paralyzed in accumulation? Do you have a plan of accumulation? I don't know. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about my approach at the very least, and I hope it can provide some value. What's up, everybody? A weird time to do a live stream. I know it's like almost 5 o'clock Eastern on a Thursday, but I have to run out here in a little bit. This is my last opportunity of the day, so I'm doing a video. I see we've got Jim Flanagan's in the house. What is up, Jim? Tech Lords is here. What's up, everybody? I appreciate everybody hanging out for a little bit. So let's talk about it. Bitcoin, $1 million. Bitcoin will hit $1 million, says IBM's VP of Blockchain, Jesse Lund. The Vice President of Blockchain and Digital Currencies for IBM, Jesse Lund, says that he expects Bitcoin price to eventually hit $1 million. Lund made his prediction during an interview with comparison and news platform Finder.com, published on YouTube on February 20th. Towards the end of the interview, Lund was asked what he expects the price of Bitcoin to be on this New Year's Eve. This New Year's Eve, they make it sound so close. It's like 10 months away. He answered that he thinks it is going to be higher than the current price, clarifying, I'll go with $5,000. He then continued his prediction, adding, I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday. Very conservative 2019. Many people thinking all-time highs in 2019. I'm not one of those people. I don't see all-time highs in 2019. And obviously he doesn't either, but he does at the same time see $1 million Bitcoin. Pretty broad range, 5,000 to 1 million. Lund explained that he likes that number, given that if Bitcoin, I like this, being that if Bitcoin is at $1 million, then Satoshi is on value parity with the US penny. He noted that at such a value, the whole markets, the whole network would have over $20 trillion of liquidity. He then suggested that such liquidity could change corporate payments and high value payments in general, concluding, I see maybe $5,000 at the end of the year, but I see a way higher upward trajectory. So long-term bullish, short-term, whatever you want to call it. Tech Lords with a 0.0026 BTC. Tech Lords, you're the man, bro. I appreciate you being here. I saw you were the first one in the chat. Your support means so much to me. Thank you for the BTC also. And then Satoshi Squanderer, $1.99 super chat. Thank you for the support, Satoshi Squanderer. He says, thanks for the quality content. Keep it up. I will do my best. No pressure. I try, but I will promise you I will do my best to keep the quality at least at par. So I just wanted to, read that quick article for context to this video. So there it is, $1 million, says IBM's VP of Blockchain. Eventually, didn't give a time frame, but $1 million. Let's go to the second article, and then we'll just talk about it for a second. Crypto investor who shorted Ethereum at $700. Bottom is far from over. Here's why. It has been difficult not to get hopes up when crypto markets surge by over 20% in a couple of weeks. What should be remembered, though, is that the asset class is still in the midst of a bear market that has lasted for over a year. One hedge fund partner who has been known for shorting still thinks there's further to go before market hits the bottom. Andy Anderson said, I won't be out squandered. Thank you for the super chat. $5 super chat, Andy Anderson. I appreciate you, man. And I don't doubt that you won't be out squandered. Ethereum momentum slow. Devs jumping ship. Alex Sonnerborg, founding partner of Tetras Capital, a New York City-based cryptocurrency hedge fund, spoke to Forbes recently about the firm's investment strategies and where he sees markets going next. The company is estimated to have $30 million in assets under management. It shorted Ethereum in May when it was trading at $700. Well played. Which Sonnerberg admits was the firm's biggest win for 2018. You think? Jim Flanagan with a $10 super chat. Dang. Hope to see you all at the summit in Vegas, baby. I hope you guys are all going to summit. If you're going to the summit in Vegas for the Litecoin summit, press 1 right now. It's in October 2019. Press 1 if you're going to that summit. So here we go. This now we're talking about the bottom. We're talking about the bottom conversation for Bitcoin or Ethereum. When asked where the bottom is for Ethereum, he replied that fundamentals do not have that much impact because the assets trade so much relative to each other. Basically, Ethereum will follow what Bitcoin does, a pattern which we have all seen play out over the past couple of years. But then he added that the consensus downsizing news was bad for Ethereum as it's an integral piece. It's an integral piece. Where'd I go? Of the Ethereum ecosystem. There's this massive disconnect between how much money is still tied up in these projects and how much people actually use them. So that kind of confused me. He's saying Ethereum is based on Bitcoin's price, but then he's talking about the downsides of Ethereum, and that will affect price, it seems. When asked a crucial question on whether Bitcoin is bottom, he said, I don't think so, and I think calling that is very difficult. That's part of the reason I'm really thankful that we're in the position we are right now. We can hedge ourselves, remain more neutral, and not have to call that exact price of time or timing bottom. I'm not confident right now. I don't think many people are very confident. So Tim B says, do you ever do AMA live streams? I don't. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know in the comments below. I feel like me being asked questions is boring to people. I don't know. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this $1 million bullish talking points. Let's talk about the bottom's not in yet, which we just read and talked about talking points. And I will pivot real quick while we have some people here. Speaking of AMAs and interviews, I literally like an hour ago was talking to Crypto Mug Investors. They have a YouTube channel and they invited me on. They wanted me to go on and do a little interview. So thank you guys for having me on your channel. I appreciate it. It was a good talk. Here is the talk. I'll put a link right here. So even if you're a replay viewer in the live chat, you can go to this link. Make sure everybody right now, even go to their channel, hit the subscribe. They're at like 1.1 thousand. Let's get them cruising up to 2,000 here, and go support these guys. I appreciate them having me on the channel. I'm not always used to being interviewed, right? So they kind of gave me some practice in that regard too. So thank you. But this is relevant because we were talking about this exact thing, right? Anticipating a move in the market. And we were talking about when we get these uptrends in the market. Now we want to go to the charts to really discuss the $1 million Bitcoin scenario as well as the bottom scenario. But one of the things they were talking about was how they feel like they FOMO, or it's easy to FOMO when we have weeks, even like this most recent week, right? Even Litecoin just take up insanely high amounts in the last month or two. But I was telling them, like, everybody gets this sense of FOMO when the markets are green, right? Everybody. And that is a mental reaction, FOMO. It's your mind saying, rightfully so, Satoshi Squanderer with a $14.99 super chat. He outsquandered Andy Anderson. Dude, that's too much, Satoshi Squanderer. But I thank you so much for the super chat. I want to throw this out there. Everybody FOMOs. In this market, I don't care who you are, I don't care what YouTuber you watch, people are FOMOing. They're getting that sense, at least, the temptation to buy the top of runs. It happens to everybody, but that's a reaction. It's built into us as human beings. It's our mind saying, is this the last time? Could this be the last time? And let's just zoom in on this most recent like little run up in Bitcoin. When we get these weeks, right, or days like this, right now even, this line I just drew, when we get there and we're in the middle of a run, all of our minds, especially as everybody in the industry space is talking about the bottom, all of our minds we're just asking ourselves, is this it? Are we exiting the bottom? Is this the last time Bitcoin will ever be below 4,000? And so that sense of the fear of missing out comes into play. Now, this is what separates what happens next. Do you give into that fear of missing out? Do you give into that question and start believing this is the last time that Bitcoin will ever be under 4,000? And then you make a purchase, an emotional purchase, because that is emotional. Most people that do that probably are on the 4-hour chart, the 5-minute charts, right? The candles are just going crazy. The screen is going crazy. The numbers are blinking on the screen. You see it. Price is going up. And then people are making an emotional decision to buy because they're in the moment and they feel that price is going to the moon and we're never going to see these prices again. When all you have to do in that moment to relieve the FOMO is zoom out on the charts. That's all you have to do. Steven Herzog, LTC East Coast team representing. Dan, you're the man. Hope all is well. Jim Flanagan is sitting here with me watching and enjoying. Do your thing. Keep up the amazing. You guys are chilling? You guys are hanging out together right now? East Coast fam together on the East Coast. Dude, I can't believe Jim Flanagan is out here on the East Coast. Steven, thank you for the super chat. You guys are awesome, and that's really cool to hear you guys hanging out. The cool side of crypto right there. People meeting each other. And it happens all the time in Litecoin, I'm telling you. People in Litecoin, there's so much face-to-face happening. People are making moves. Literally, Jim Flanagan making moves. So it's pretty cool. I appreciate you guys being here. We'll all have to meet up soon, one of these days. So I was talking to them on the interview a little bit ago, and we were talking about that. And my point was everybody FOMOs. Everybody gets at least that feeling of FOMO. Not everybody FOMOs. But, what you do with that feeling is what makes all the difference. And the Liquid Canvas $5 super chat. I buy on the way down and hodl all the way up. Cycles, man. Cycles. I like it. Playing the cycles. And we were talking about cycles on the interview. And I appreciate all you super chatters. I do. If you're a replay viewer and you get annoyed because I kind of go read these super chats, I'm sorry, but these people are awesome, and I appreciate them and what they're contributing to the channel. So thank you guys. But this is true, cycles, and this speaks to in my thumbnail on this. I say how do you accumulate, and I put a little light bulb there because I think it illustrates a certain amount of wisdom. And I know it's not the popular thing to do a video on or talk about on a YouTube video relating to cryptocurrency, but I feel like it's the most powerful thing to talk about, which is not to sit here as a YouTuber with the chart open and tell you where Bitcoin is going to or when to buy, or give you an influence of bearish or bullish vibes. I don't want to influence you. But what I want to do is I want to encourage you from what I've learned in my failures in investments in the past, is encourage you to take like a different approach, which isn't a momentary approach. It's, especially if you're long in this space, it's a long-term approach. When you zoom out on the charts, and we literally have, and I'll put it on the screen right now. So we read an article, we get a trend line, and I hope everybody likes my new cursor. It's pink. We read an article. Where's $1 million Bitcoin? We read an article a few minutes ago talking about $1 million Bitcoin. That's this line up here, this white line I just drew. I'll make it bigger. Boom, $1 million, right? That's a talking point. People are talking about $1 million. No, that's not $1 million. What am I doing? $1 million is, wait for it, $1 million up here at literally the top of my screen. I got to zoom down. Boom. People are talking about that. That's literally real as we trade at $4,000. But at the same time, people are talking about down here, $1,000, which I believe you can see on my screen, $1,000. So we have all these talking points and we're just chilling here at $4,000. How do you go about investing in a space where everybody's all over the place and everybody's kind of pulling in different directions within their opinions? And my approach is very simple, which is based off of really two things. One, expecting absolutely nothing. Don't expect anything. Don't expect one day Bitcoin will go to $1 million, and also don't expect that it's going to 1,000. But anticipate the two scenarios. They're actually both pretty extreme scenarios. $1 million Bitcoin is a very extreme scenario. But what does your world look like with $1 million Bitcoin one day? What does your world look like if from here we go to $1 million? That's just one simple question. And then what does your world look like if Bitcoin goes to $1,000? Anticipating every scenario and expecting nothing. And all that takes is, at the end of the day, sitting back, wherever you are. It's not listening to a YouTuber. It's not, it's not some brilliant prediction. It's not some brilliant model or secret that nobody knows about except you finally stumbled on the correct YouTube video that's giving you the answer. There is no answer. It's literally you at the end of the day sitting on your couch, looking at your bank account, realizing the two extremes, $1,000 Bitcoin or $1 million Bitcoin, and asking yourself, what is your risk tolerance? Will it pay off for you if Bitcoin goes to $1 million? And will it pay off enough? Do you have enough Bitcoin, right, where you'll be happy? On the flip side, if from 4,000 it goes to 1,000, will you be okay if you make an investment right now and accumulate? Will you be okay if it goes to $1,000? If the answer is no, I'll be in trouble because I'd be spending more than I can afford to lose. Then adjust that. That's it. The reason I'm talking about this is, and I know I talk about it sometimes in my videos, but I feel like more and more I've been seeing a lot of videos of people predicting certain things happening. And I think it's become really evident that so many people that are watching these YouTube videos are actually following advice. And I even get messages of people that have followed advice of other YouTubers and have gotten, kind of messed up because what they said would happen didn't happen. And oftentimes it's based on technical analysis videos. That's why my technical analysis videos, they're not vague, but the data we look at is very conservative and it's very long term. It's not meant for short term gains. It's not at all. It's meant for long term wealth. And that's simply because the person doing these videos, me, that's my approach to the market. I'm in this long term. And I think there's way more money, safer money also to be made long term in the market. So when I zoom out on the chart, I see an opportunity to buy. And this is something we talked about on, when I did this interview with Crypto Mug investors here. And if you're new in the live stream right now, please go subscribe and support those guys. I appreciate them having me on the channel. I basically talked about this bottom range that we're in now because the biggest topic of conversation right now is where's the bottom, right? Is it $1,000 like some people are saying? Is it $2,500? We have a target. We have a target for $2,500 right now to the downside. It's potentially in play. It could happen. And I know it's kind of a broad range, right? If we measure the current bottom channel, which we've talked about for months, even before breaking into the channel, we were ready for it and anticipating this move. The channel itself is like pretty steep. The $2,500 to $4,500 area alone is 80% spread from bottom to top. So what if you're trying to purchase or accumulate Bitcoin within that spread? What is the best way to do that, right? And this is exactly in real time what I'm doing on this channel is we can enjoy these green days that we have, right? These nice moves in the market. Here's one back in December, mid-December, to give you an idea. That was a move of 34% to the upside. Those are big gains, right? But then we had downside. We kind of trickled down. Then we had upside again. And we're going to get these constantly. Mark my words, when we get to the end of this, towards the end, let's call it August, right here. When we get to August, all of this is going to not look like this, right? That's not going to happen. There are going to be like peaks and valleys. And that's the whole purpose I do this channel, is so that whether it looks something like this, right? Like that is a very realistic possibility that you see on the screen. This is the tool of technical analysis and data, is basically to prepare us. If you're long on Bitcoin and want to accumulate, let's accumulate here, right? Let's accumulate after from this swing high to this swing low, 42% to the downside. Let's accumulate there. If we continue this uptrend to this hypothetical, range of $4,700, let's not buy the top at a 42% to the upside. Let's not do that. That's not my interest. My interest is to buy the cheapest Bitcoin on the dips. My interest is buying the dips, and you better believe the dips are going to happen in these markets going through this bottom as we define the bottom. There certainly can be another low, and we just talked about it, down in this $2,500 area. When this happens, I don't know when it would be, but there certainly could be, and I want to be prepared for that. And that's why I track this thing. I try and do it daily for everybody, for myself included. And those are my heavy accumulation areas. So how do you accumulate? Number one, you literally anticipate anything happening. You have to anticipate and have the wherewithal to be ready for crypto to fail. You have to be ready for both extremes. Crypto failing and Bitcoin going to $1 million. That is your starting point for how to accumulate Bitcoin. And from what you do from there is something that you have to decide on your own. You have to evaluate your own risk tolerance. And obviously this isn't financial advice. I would never tell you what to do with your money. And any YouTubers that are saying buy or sell or where we're going, predictions. If you see the keyword prediction, just be careful. Will somebody somebody might be on the channel and ask me like, what's your prediction? I'll say what it is for fun, like just, speculatively, but you'll never see me really do a video where I'm calling a certain price point based on technical analysis. We always have upside and downside targets, and that's it, because we're always anticipating upside and downside. My approach, you all know my approach. I buy the red. I like buying the 20% days when we're on the downside. I like buying, and you can zoom out on the chart and you can just see it. When everything's bleeding, it's so evident and obvious. Boom, boom, boom. The dips are like, it doesn't even, it's so obvious when you zoom out on the chart. It's almost too easy. And it's almost too easy to have all these indicators up, the MACD, the momentum oscillators, the RSI, track volume, use the moving averages that we use all the time and really get an idea of when is a good time to accumulate some Bitcoin. It's easy. The trick is kind of leaving that emotionality out of the situation when you're getting ready to accumulate. So if you come across YouTube videos and they're telling you what to do, or you're actually starting to get emotional while you're watching the video because you start feeling a little bit of that fear of missing out because of what they're saying, like they're bullishly influencing you, be careful. Whenever your emotions begin to spike, be careful. You want to be in a place of just complete control of the situation, complete control of your money. So those are my thoughts. Rick Costa, $5.04, 0.1 LTC. Keep up the good work, Dan. I appreciate it, Rick, and I thank you for your support, and thank you so much for the LTC super chat. I love seeing that. I love it. I love that we can implement it. I need to implement on Twitter this Chrome extension for Lightning Network tips. That is what I will do, maybe later tonight, and maybe I'll do a little video on that because I think that is awesome. So those are my thoughts, everybody. That's my rant. It really got me thinking after I did this interview with the crypto mug investors, and it's a really important topic, I think. It's a really important thing to discuss and to just sit back and meditate on, because you can really get wrecked in these markets. And I know there's new people coming in all the time, and I hope maybe they can come across this video and it can help them to maybe take a deep breath and actually zoom out on the charts, get a grasp of these markets, and then kind of make their own decision and not listen to YouTubers that are telling them what to do, that are way too enthusiastically bullish or enthusiastically bearish, right? There's way too much conviction in terms of people calling prices and people calling the bottom or saying we're going to 1,000. They say it with such conviction that to new people coming into the space, it seems as if, wow, it must be true because they're so sure of this and they're providing data that seems so true. But at the end of the day, that is not the best idea to go off of what they're saying. Official Litecoin Lotto Rob says, also be careful when you watch a video and the first 5 minutes is them shilling themselves. Just a heads up. I agree. When you have like a 5-minute kind of salesy type of intro, right? Maybe selling courses and all this. Definitely do your thing out there if you're a YouTube entrepreneur, but I think it's pretty obvious when you see something like that to just be careful. That's all I'm saying. So those are my thoughts, everybody. Wanted to do a quick live stream. I gotta bounce. It's a little after 5 Eastern. Super chatters, I really appreciate your thoughts. If you're a replay viewer and you're still here right now, let me know your comments below. What's your approach on these markets? Hopefully, I think a lot of people have learned through this bear market, have grown some thick skin. And I think that's an awesome thing. So let me know your thoughts below. If you were hanging out here, I appreciate you guys coming on a weird time, Thursday, 5 Eastern. But it's been fun. It's been real. If you're here right now and you're not a subscriber, I'm telling you, I really would love for you to subscribe. I love seeing subscribers go up. I enjoy getting to know all of you guys. And appreciate your support. I really do. We're going to grow on this thing together, and I thank you for your feedback. I hope you all have an amazing day, amazing rest of this Thursday. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.